Hi guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Today is Sunday, January 29th, 2017. And I wanted to get into some of the economic news. Gold is currently trading at $1,189.30. Silver is at $17.22. The markets are closed for the weekend. And I wanted to get into some of this recent discussion about the economy. We know in the 70s, silver price rose to $50. And they had just began taking silver out of coins. There was a failure to issue the dollar in silver notes by the Treasury, which was an executive order that was passed. And that ended. A time of turmoil also erupted after a presidential assassination. From then, the people's will to use silver and possess silver needed to be suppressed. Yet, the GDP was low. It was at 4.88% growth. And that was low. I mean, if you look at our recent GDP posting, the last year, our real GDP being 1.6%. Compared to 1969, it was 7.28% growth. 1968, 9.84% growth. And that's the problem. You see, we're heading into this economic change. For example, Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, January 20th, 1981. In 1982, we saw the economy slump to about 3.79% growth as a result of new restructuring of economic policy and what we find ourselves facing today. There was then a boom in 1983. To show you what normal numbers for GDP growth look like, even in the 70s, the average American GDP growth is about 10% a year. I'll show you some of the larger numbers. In 1972, the GDP growth was 11.60%. In 1973, it was 11.04%. In 1977, it was 11.88% GDP growth. In 78, it was 14.46% GDP growth. That is what a healthy American economy looks like. And it comes down to what are the goals of these deciding interests. By comparison, after the dot-com bubble burst, we dropped to 2.919% in 2001. We also had the World Trade Center incident that took place, a lot of uncertainty, but there was something that changed in the world then, 2.19%. And in true neocon fashion, adopted a strategy of war. America has since been in active wars in multiple countries. We see how devastating the effects of the Great Recession in 2008 was. We had the worst economic crisis, the worst GDP numbers posting since 1944. But in the modern, prosperous American era, it was unheard of to post a GDP with negative 0.92%. Which is what we had in 2008. Negative 0.92% growth, followed by 2009, where we rose to only 0.11% growth. This is just it. These central bankers are not honest, and they're not out with goals of a prosperous American citizenry. I mean, listen to Janet Yellen's speech. She said, we've reached our economic goals. America's GDP has had the slowest growth since 2009. It is at 1.6% for the last year. Why now would they raise interest rates? Some other key figures, it is clear we are in a massive recession. We have the lowest GDP posting, and now all of a sudden they're making speeches saying we've reached our economic goals. With a stock market above 20,000, it's insanity. They measure consumer sentiment. So it proves they operate a system depending on people believing in their system. At least people's sentiment has risen. At least that number's on the rise. It's up to a 13-year high. People believe in what's going on. Unfortunately, U.S. durable good orders fall for the second straight month. U.S. new home sales down to 10-month lows. U.S. jobless claims rise to 4-week highs. So sentiment is up. Everyone's excited and all engaged in this stock market frenzy. U.S. inflation rate at a 2.5-year high of 2.1%. We did see consumer sentiment dropped back down a little in January. That's only because U.S. retail sales are down, even after holiday spending. This is their big time for retailers. This is where they make most of their money to survive throughout the rest of the year. This is where they get their numbers out of the black. U.S. posts a $28 billion budget deficit in December. In December alone. U.S. unemployment rates rise in December. Funny. After they use unemployment success to justify a victory parade, the numbers rise even with holiday shopping, the holiday season, where there's a massive hiring frenzy, and yet we see more jobless claims. Job growth slows in December. Same story. Their celebration, their success story, it's a lie. The U.S. trade gap at 9-month high. That's with the strong dollar. And what it means, this system of economics we're in the middle of, it's not just here. Spain is posting an above the table number. Now this is the number they show you of 18.63% unemployment, with youth unemployment around 60%. The UK, they're doing a standing ovation for 2% GDP growth. A standing ovation. A celebration. Don't you see that the economic powers around the world have been shattered from this economic crisis? We are in the midst of a raging recession. The fact is, we are in a raging recession. 1.6% growth? The only times that numbers like this were posted were in dramatic times after World War II. At the end of World War II, when they dropped the atom bomb. After the stock market crisis, before the Great Depression, the numbers were worse then, but never in modern American history. It's like something changed that you couldn't quite put your finger on when all of a sudden a 1.6% GDP growth, we now have Federal Reserve Chairman standing up and saying, we have met our goals for the American economy. This great recession. The U.S. economy is crippled from the past 8 years. The fact is, we're in a recession. It's almost like this is the world they want. A debt we can never pay. And a nation of debt slaves. This is the reason that they have to put so much effort into suppressing precious metals prices, is because it is becoming such a viable alternative with the printing of an increased printing of 400% of the volume of currency of the US dollars in existence. With these trade wars we're entering into, these all-out falling away between countries like Mexico on our border, China, one of the world's leading producer of goods. Our exports are down as a result of a raising dollar. We are in a period of uncertainty. What is certain is that it is not a recovery. It is not good. If this is their economic goals, beware of the people that rule over this country. I'm talking about the true rulers of this place. Their economic goals are a GDP growth for the American economy of 1.6%. Devastating numbers. Devastating. In fact, it's worse. All this printing of money, and yet our GDP is dropping. It's been better over the past 8 years. But now it's dropping again. And they want to massage these numbers and tell you that Obama handed over this massive economic boom. The real reality is it's time to invest in precious metals. There was a reason the people wanted to get silver back in the 70s. And it still exists today in times of panic, in times of uncertainty. The price of silver, gold was only at $850 an ounce during that time, and silver was at $50 an ounce. It was really closer to the real ratio in which it is mined today. And don't you think for one second that silver is not a threat to their system, that the people are not going to rush into it when the realities of what is taking place around you begins to sink in, begins to break through. Sentiment is high, and yet they're talking about the approval of this past president and somehow awarding him this stock market rally. What's there left now to do but to prepare, to take positive steps? Before metals, you must secure food, water, storable food. Airtight, rice can last. It has no expiration date. Water, put water away. Salt, stockpile reserves of salt. We are reaching a level of inflation, 2.2%. It's on the rise. So we are going to see very inflated food prices. We see oil is on the rise. We're going to see higher gas prices. We're going to see a lot of turmoil in the near future, and we're going to see rising metals prices. We see the resistance line that is pushing back despite all of these attempts to suppress it. We see that the uncertainty is bleeding through. The story they're trying to tell us, is really not having the same effect. The propaganda is no longer as effective. We finally have a U.S. president that'll stand up to CNN and say, you're fake news. Because that's what it is. It's fake news. A fake recovery. A fake economic boom. And it is a fake motivation that they have to raise interest rates at this time. They are going to collapse this economy. And it's time to take steps to prepare now. Buy silver, buy gold. Take some of your money away, your excess money. Instead of buying toys this month, go ahead and put something away. Begin to hold on, to do something to protect your wealth and your investments. All right, thank you guys for joining me. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe, like the videos. I thank you guys so much for stopping by and for watching the videos. Be sure, share the videos, get the word out. We're doing great so far. Thank you guys for participating in Free Silver February. It's been great. And I thank you guys so much. Be safe, and thanks again. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. I told you we had something special coming up. So what we're going to do, I just got a nice package in the mail. Got two brand new 2017 Canadian Maples. Man, I love these coins. What a beautiful coin that is. Oh, I guess you're wondering about the title of the video. That's right. This is Free Silver February, guys. And I figured since the channel's been doing so good and picking up so many subscribers, I thought it was time to give a little something back to my audience. So for every person who subscribed, all you have to do, guys, is comment on 3 different videos the message Free Silver February. And for everybody who types the message Free Silver February in 3 different videos, each 3 videos, you're entered in for a chance to win one of these brand new silver Canadian Maples. Brand new, never touched by human hands. Well, at least since they've been in my possession. Brand new spotless coins. And they're yours, guys. I'll pay shipping. So if you want to partake in the contest, all you gotta do is be subscribed. Type in Free Silver February. I'll make it even sweeter. Every 3 videos you post that comment in, you're entered in. So there's no limit. The only limit is the amount of videos because it's gotta be on 3 separate videos. Alright, and I'll make it even sweeter since the channel's been doing so well, guys. And if you're new to this channel, we talk a little bit about politics, a little bit about the current economic crisis we're facing that they're trying to ignore. It's kind of one of those fake news sites. They've been warning you about. So this is what I'm going to do, guys, since it's been doing so good. If we surpass 1,000 subscribers, which I'm assuming we will, at the current rate, we will blow past that before the end date, February 27th, 2017, I'm going to double it. So you get 2 ounces of silver, and even more than that, I'll throw in 5 mercury dimes. Absolutely free. I'll pay shipping, and we're going to do the drawing live, guys. Good old-fashioned pull names out of a hat. You know what I mean. So here's your chance, guys, if you want to enter in. It's not that difficult for all my audience, all my faithful subscribers. Everyone who's subscribed, all you have to comment is free silver February, and you're in. Alright, but thank you guys for joining me. This message is effective January 27th, 2017. Let the games begin.